All right, Sean Mize here. We're going to get to work now. This is going to be very live. This is going to be very personal. I'd like for you to use the chat to communicate with me. And then if I need to ask you a question, I'll ask you to come on and talk. The reason for this is because there's about 7 people here, and we'll move faster if everybody can chat at the same time instead of talking. If you get stuck, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to teach. I'm here to help you get unstuck. If you're not using a software that I'm familiar with, I can't help you. You'll have to go to the user manual for it. And even for CapCut and OBS, I only know the 7 little tiny things I do. Okay, so and you know, you'll want to use the user manual for that. So here's your first instruction: is to take if you have not written a 30-second script yet, go write the script. Anybody need to write the script? So that will be first step 1. If you need to write the script, open a Google Doc immediately. Just turn the volume off on me. Go write the Google Doc. For those of you that have already have script, then you're going to turn on your recording device and speak that script out. Okay. And I am going to sit back and take any questions while you're working. Your job is to work. This is a workshop. It's hands-on. You're going to work. And then in 5 minutes, we're going to come back and I'm going to say, hey, have you finished recording that? And if not, what are you stuck on? Everybody good? Thumbs up. Okay. For those of you that are ahead of the curve and you've already done your video, then you know you're done. You're ahead of the curve. You've already done this particular stage, and so we'll get to the next stage when we get to it. And so I'm just going to kind of sit here with you. So Douglas asks, you're finished editing, you can get the rest yourself. So you're good, Douglas? You're good? You got what you needed to from today's session? Okay. So let me ask you this then, honestly. Did you get what you needed and wanted out of this class? Was this what you were looking for today? Will this kind of unlock things for you? Definitely. Okay, cool. Let me just ask you then, what was the best part about today's class? And, you know, Dolores, I would ask you the same thing, right? It sounds like obviously we're not going to do the record today because you don't have the software uploaded. But I mean, it sounds like to me you're ready for the next step. What was the best part about this class for you, Dolores? I'd love for you to type that into the chat. That would mean a lot to me. Douglas says the purpose of shorts and how to get them set up for max views. Cool. Awesome. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. I love that. Thank you for that feedback. I tell you what, I tell you something about this business is when you've been in it for 18 years, you got to make a living, right? I mean, I do this just like a plumber does. I do this to make a living. But I don't get much value out of the money anymore, right? 1,000 people can buy a class and the money's nice and, you know, pays bills. But what really means something to me, if I spend 2 hours with a handful of people, is that somebody gets something out of it. That's what really means something to me. And so if you were the only one that got something out of this and the little bit of money I made on this, because not very many people signed up, this makes my day, Douglas. So Dolores says the best for me was understanding the algorithms, if that's what they're called. Yep, that's what they're called. And the explanation of how that works. Okay, cool. Awesome. So, and you know, I'll extend on that. Give me 1 second, Charles. I'll extend on that, Dolores, and say, again, I gave you 2 major things about the algorithm. There's like another 900. But if the only things I ever could do to influence the algorithm were the 2 things I talked about today, I could probably make viral videos. Okay. So don't get hung up on the algorithm, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, if you do this, if you make your opening 0.7 seconds, then you'll get more views than if it's 0.6 seconds. You know what? Leave that to the, you know, number crunchers. Okay. And maybe one day, maybe a year from now, I'll be like Mr. Beast and I'll be obsessing over 0.1 second. But for right now, I'm just doing what I showed you. All right. Thank you, Dolores. Okay, so we've got Charles is back. We got 12 minutes to work. So tell me where you're at. Did you get stuck or is this victory? Tell me what's up.
Oh, I got the video recorded. It's on my phone, so I'm transferring it to the my video software on my computer now. So
Okay.
that's where I'm at.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So the one thing that didn't work as well with this class as I had intended was, I mean, honestly, I didn't mean to teach everything I did. You guys glad I taught? I hope so.
Mhm.
Okay. I had fun teaching and it's taught now. You don't need all the stuff I taught, but you now know everything you need for 90 days. You don't need another course. You have what you need for 90 days. Okay. I might even package that 45-minute segment up as a course. I mean, seriously, you have everything you need for 90 days. All right. The one thing that I had intended would we'd get to this point at like half an hour, and then we would just spend time sharing each other's video. We didn't get to that. Okay. At the end of the day, that's just a gimmick anyway, because it's only one video. And okay, at the end of the day, you're going to have to find people on standby, whether it's in Substack or it's your friends or it's in Facebook, that will give you views the first hour. I mean, you're going to have to round up 10 people that will help you out. And I personally don't believe it's unethical to watch your own video 4 times, okay, and let it roll. And I don't think it's unethical for your friends to do that too. Some people might argue with me, okay? And so, you know, we all have a different standard. I feel like for ethics, mine is generally pretty high, but sometimes we can get into fine points on that. I think it's okay to watch your video a couple of times, but you need more than just you watching it. You need your friends watching it. And you know, if everybody here would reach out to each other and form a little pod, you can actually do that in the in here. You know, you guys can go into the feed and communicate with each other if you so choose, and maybe agree that for a few days at 10 o'clock, everybody's going to come in and post your video and you'll watch it. It's hard to make that work unless everybody's willing to show up at the same time, kind of thing. So sometimes it's better to just say, hey, you know, are you guys willing to do this? And just hand send an email or create a WhatsApp channel or something. You can do that too. I generally don't do that because I have a little bit of a list, because I have Substack. I'll give you a hint. What I do with Substack is if I want to use Substack to promote it, I will copy and paste the script of the video into a Substack article. I will have it all ready to go. And then as soon as I get the YouTube short, I can just put the link in and hit send. And so it's already ready to go. So it happens fast. But Substack is slow getting you. I mean, like if I send a Substack out, I'm only going to get like 15 views to my YouTube, and it's going to take 24 hours. So it's not like an instantaneous thing. I posted on LinkedIn. I posted on Facebook. If I think it's of value to you, I'll send it to my list, but I've been sending too many, so people aren't really clicking on them anymore. They're like, it's another video from Sean. So I'm not even getting many clicks from my list for that. Okay. So, but you know, I did it at first to goose a few of them, but if you'll find a few friends that'll help you out, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Your current ethical compass is someone else getting hurt by me gaining an advantage. Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, at the end of the day, isn't that what ethics is? I mean, the whole reason we have 10 commandments is so that we have some rules by which we can love God with all our heart and love our neighbor with all our heart. Right. And so I don't think your friend watching a video 2 times in a row is going to hurt anybody. So here's what I want to do. We have 8 minutes left. I'm in no hurry to use the time up, but I'm also in no hurry to leave. So any questions for me? Douglas, you're done. You're good. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you were here. Thanks for the feedback earlier. So if I'm not hearing any questions, Douglas and Dolores both told me what the best part about this training time was. Let me ask you that, Charles. What was the best part about our time together today? What was your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway, just coming together as a group and helping me take my next step. So I've already got 2 months of doing Facebook Lives, and I'm going to keep that drumbeat going, but this is just the next natural evolution. So I appreciate it's so much more fun to do it with others. So I appreciate us doing this together.
Cool. There is definitely a team
And
motivation involved in, even though like each of you use different software, I think, and you kind of did it on your own screen. We never saw your screen, but just knowing that each of you were sitting there working on it at the same time, it's almost like it creates accountability, right? And so that's a good thing. Thank you for sharing that with me, Charles. You triggered something in me when you said, you know, Facebook Lives versus something like this. And I don't know that one is necessarily better, necessarily. But the truth of the matter is the odds of really any influencer out there getting 1 million views on a Facebook Live is like zero, right? But lots of people get 1 million views on their shorts, all right? And the thing is about a short, you can do it at 2 o'clock in the morning when the family, when you can't sleep, you just go into the basement or you go outside. I mean, I'm just making up an example here. You don't have to do it when everybody's going to come together. You can do your short whenever you want to. And you have the ability, you really have, a lot of people look at the shorts and the YouTube and the algorithm as just like some lucky thing. And it's not a lucky thing, right? I mean, there is some luck involved, but for the most part, the videos that go viral are engineered to go viral. And the place where they start is the foundation I gave you guys today. So Dolores says, I appreciate this as well. I love sharing in groups. All right, folks, you're very welcome. Let me say this. I had a good time today. I did. I had fun today. I'm glad I got to work with you. And Lord willing, I'll see you somewhere else on another class soon. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you next time.